Everybody, Rev Nation here, and today I wanted to talk about how I got my Ford Maverick so quickly and what I paid for it. So how did I get my Maverick so much faster than everybody else? Well, it kind of is a bit of a long story, but what ended up happening to me with the 2022 Maverick is that I went in to place my factory order just like everybody else. So it was a little bit on the later end because I was still undecided of whether I wanted to buy one of the trucks or not. And so I go in there. I'm not going to be able to name the dealership and whatever because of other legal things. But so I go to place my order. One of the managers comes over to me and says, "Hey, are you looking for a Maverick?" And I said, "Yes." And she was like, "What kind of trim do you want?" I was like, "I just want, the XLT hybrid." And she was like, "I literally just had a lady back out of hers. She had already had a build date, and you could probably get yours in January. So January of 2022. And I was like, "Oh, great. Yeah, I'll do that." And she was like, "All you have to do is take over the allocation for her." And so we did up all the paperwork, just like a normal purchase order. I had a buyer's agreement and everything like that at MSRP. So, and I was like, man, my lucky day, right? Well, that's not exactly how things went, of course. So when the truck came and they called me and it was on its way, the day before I was supposed to take possession of it, the dealer threw on a $7,500 market adjustment on my order, which I already had a buyer's agreement for and all sorts of other stuff. Long story short, of course I was not going to pay that, and I got into a bunch of legal stuff with them. Resulted in essentially, me getting screwed over. I drug Ford into this heavily because they were allowing their dealerships to behave badly and ruin their reputation and everything like that. So, long story short, I got screwed out of that. Didn't end up getting the Maverick. I got my money back, whatever. And Ford helped me out to find a dealer that wasn't going to screw me and that I could count on, and so on and so forth. So we had some pretty loud traffic. So went and did, when the order banks opened up and everything like that, the Ford customer service was actually pretty on the ball with this because of the amount of hell I raised with them. And, in the state that I resided, a buyer's order or agreement meant nothing, basically. You had no consumer protections, so they could just screw you over in any way they wanted to. I got with a fantastic dealership, a place called Beach Ford in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Can't say enough great things about it. Put in my order. They gave me a priority code of 10, and where almost everybody else had a priority code of 19. So they do build codes and priority codes. And the best that you're going to get as a ordinary customer is usually about 10. So what you can do is you can shop around for a dealership that's willing to request a higher priority code for you. Ford had already kind of done this for me. So like the lady that I worked with at the dealership already had the priority code, punched in there, and so they said, "Hey, you're probably going to get your truck within a couple of months." And I was like, "What? Oh, really?" Because I was thinking, well, I'm going to have to wait around for a year and a half, and my heart kind of goes out to those people who are still waiting, which is not okay. That's not fair. I honestly, I should not have gotten my truck, regardless of what happened to me. I should not have gotten my truck prior to somebody who had been waiting since 2021. But that's the world that we live in. I guess if you make the most noise, you know, you're going to get the most attention, I suppose. So, no MSRP markup or any type of, hey, you got to buy this package or that package. Literally nothing. So I'm gonna show you the paperwork now, and then I will go into what I paid. All right. So what you're looking at here is my original order. I have been kind of around the vehicle game for quite some time, so I knew that if I wanted to get a vehicle fast, I was not to get any type of added options of any sort. And I didn't do what I was advised to by getting the largest amount produced trim because I knew better. I bought the fleet trim. So I got what you can see over here, Oxford white, right? I got the base cloth seats. I got, you know, the equipment group 1A, which is essentially the fleet vehicles. This is what's going to go to rental companies and large manufacturers and all sorts of other stuff. This is what came, you know, from the factory. Here is my costs broken down. So the base MSRP was $22,195, right? And they didn't add in any of the processing fees or any of that stuff just yet. But they did add in the $1,495 destination and delivery charge, which, you know, was to be expected. I placed this order on September 17th in the afternoon. That is the date that you could actually get the orders put in. There was a system error that Ford was dealing with and people's orders weren't going through. So I went in and I actually signed the paperwork the next day because there was some type of anomaly. So I ended up doing it the next day. And what I paid out the door, they actually don't give you hard copies of your paperwork or anything. But what I ended up paying was this $23,690 minus $500 that was given to me by Ford as a discount code. And then, or a credit, I'm sorry. And then the $699 documentation and processing fees. So my grand total came out to $23,416. And the only reason I don't have that printed out is because all they gave me was a digital copy. So I only had a digital copy of all my paperwork, and I couldn't redact any of the proprietary information from there. But that is what I paid out the door. Keep in mind, I do not pay sales tax, and my registration is relatively low in comparison to many other people. I will have, I believe, an additional like $49 fee. Just for tabs and whatnot, but beyond that, a fantastic value. I don't know what else is on the market that gives you more than what you get in the Maverick. At the end of the day, I mean, check it out. So this is, you know, what you're getting, right? So you get a utility of a truck bed, you get an insanely efficient vehicle, getting upwards into the 40 mile per gallon range. You get front wheel drive, which is honestly going to be a little bit better in the snow or the rain or anything like that. It's going to be a bit more stable than a rear wheel drive. it's also going to be more efficient. And yeah, I mean, don't really know what else you could ask for. Everybody should try and get their hands on one of these things, because I've owned, you know, Civics, I've owned Corollas, I've owned entry-level luxury cars, higher-end luxury cars, full-size trucks, mid-size trucks, muscle cars, you name it. The only thing I haven't owned is an electric vehicle, and at this time I really don't have a desire to own any of those. But there's literally nothing else on the market that's going to give you the value that you get here. And I am extremely lucky that, you know, I placed my order on September 17th, and I picked my vehicle up on January 6th of 2023. So September 17th, order went through, paperwork was signed on the 18th, and then, you know, picked it up at the dealership January 6th. So I'll put the number of days up there, but you know, it's just a couple of months basically, which is insane. But it's all about that priority code, folks. So make sure you get that. Paid MSRP, got a fantastic deal, got a great dealership to work with, and you know, got the vehicle very, very fast. So life is good. I'm one of the lucky ones. I hope that you all can find some luck with these Ford Mavericks in the future, or those of you that are getting them soon or already have gotten them, congratulations. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, comment down below. You know, should I keep this? I'm still debating. Keep in mind, I've got some more vehicles on the way. So write down below what you would do, and if you think I'm kind of an a-hole for getting my truck before some of the other people that have been waiting for longer than me. Thanks. We'll see ya.